Tomorrow, Jason, we have our podcast debut, TMG People First Podcast. It's been a long time coming. I'm really excited about it. You never know how things are going to play out, but even if it's just my mom that listens to it, I had a good time. What did you think?
No, for sure. Tomorrow is a big day for sure. The launch of the TMG People First Podcast, and really excited about the season that lies ahead for us. It's definitely a learning experience for sure, but going to be a lot of fun.
So our first guest is Chris Carter, the NFL Hall of Famer, somebody that you've known for years, and that was my first interview, and so I just am excited to see that released. And what's interesting is we didn't kind of know how we were going to present this podcast to the world here, and so the first one you interviewed Chris, and then I went and interviewed him separate. Because initially we thought maybe we're going to do two separate episodes or, we weren't going to do it together. And that kind of evolved over time with another guest named Chris, right?
Yeah. So I think we were learning on the fly a bit, right? As we begin to just kind of figure this thing out. And lo and behold, we do an interview together and it stuck. And so we have just continued on that path for the remainder of the first season. But, with Chris Carter, we were just finding our way, just getting our feet underneath us.
Yeah. I was nervous for that one. Obviously, Chris, and I haven't interviewed anybody. I mean, it's a whole different deal than, advising a client on his risk needs, right? Super fun, though. Great experience. This podcast, though, a lot of people are asking me why are you and Jason? You're the benefits division leader. I'm the property and casualty for the Mahoney Group, based out of Arizona. Why do a podcast? I have my own thoughts on why, but what are some of the reasons you think this is halfway a good idea here?
Yeah, initially I was behind the podcast, not knowing that I was going to participate in it. First of all, but I was behind the podcast because I thought it would give us the ability to attract talent. Our industry, there's a war on talent in our industry. Good people, thus the People First Podcast, are hard to find, and so that was one reason. The second reason is, how do we attract and retain clients? And so how do we expand our network? How do we deepen our network? How do we connect people? Because as you know, ultimately, insurance is about people. It is the people business. And so we saw this as potentially a great platform just to introduce the Mahoney Group, introduce ourselves, and really what our organization has to offer people across all fronts.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I know we've talked about that about 30% of the United States economy has an insurance component tied to it. Crazy. Health insurance premiums, claims, restoration contractors, attorney fees, whatever it is, premiums, payroll, and only about 3% of recruiting dollars are spent on plucking people out of college to come in insurance. And so, yes, definitely that is part of it. I want, I want the Mahoney Group to be the coolest and the best place to work in Arizona for, top performers and people that are looking for an opportunity like I got, which we'll get into. Jason and I do an episode here in the middle, and we'll kind of get to a little bit more of our stories. But also we have a story to tell to attract talent, like you were talking about. But I loved learning about people in their own industries. We had people coming in from, top nonprofits. We have construction people. We have people in the insurance industry, the marketing industry. And it's crazy the parallels of principles of leadership, and also just kind of what makes people tick. I learned a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I love hearing about people's stories and their journeys and their resilience, tough times, great times, and how they've navigated their journey along their path as business owners, as leaders, as, defining moments throughout their career, the passion, the purpose, and how they have fought through those trying times and how they've been triumphant over those times. That's probably my favorite.
So you guys are going to have to tune in. We launch a episode for the first season every Tuesday morning at 5 a.m. And if we were rolling bloopers right now, Jason would say 8 a.m. because he messed up on that like 12 times, but
13.
they're all good. But I'm excited to get your guys' feedback and see what you kind of think. But yeah, it should be interesting to see how this lands. And two, it's good to get people here at our office, prospects, people in the industry, clients, industry, thought leaders. There's been a lot of wins so far with this. And yeah, I guess my question to you, Jason, is what surprised you in the first season or doing this project? What was something that maybe you weren't expecting?
I would think that, honestly, I had no intention on doing this at all. And initially I had varying reservations about it for varying reasons. I think the fun part has been just the vulnerability of it, because you're out there, you're on camera, you're hearing your voice, like you're experiencing.
It's kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, full disclosure, I don't mind seeing myself on camera, but hearing my voice,
Well, the combination of the two is it's like nails on a chalkboard, right? So
Painful.
it's an uncomfortable experience at first, but then you kind of get used to it, right? But I'm just really more excited about people being able to share their stories, and hopefully we can connect people and impact.
Mm-hmm.
So, but speaking of people, Guff, what can you describe for the audience what people means to the Mahoney Group?
Yeah, so it's an acronym, and we got together as a leadership team, and we didn't pay a consultant or anything like that. It was just us together in a room, and we came up with, people first, because people are at the center of everything we do. The P, the acronym, stands for people. The E stands for enthusiasm. The
nothing ever good happens without enthusiasm.
Exactly. The O stands for ownership, which, we're owned by our people, and it also has a accountability component to ownership there. And then the next P is for performance. Our good friend, Dean Hildebrand, who's one of the top thought leaders in the insurance industry, says performance fixes everything financially. So performance is a big deal. L is loyalty, and that really means being a good teammate as well, not just blindly following the company, but being a good teammate and being loyal. And then E is empathy. So with that empathy connects to people, and it connects to everything. And so we're in the people business. We want to connect people. And working on this project with you, Jason, we've collaborated a lot more in business than we have previously.
For sure.
I mean, recently now, cross-selling together more, because this podcast kind of got our juices flowing on different things, and it's helped, our business already, just because I'm spending more time with you.
Yeah, I think it's definitely given us some juice for sure. And just looking at things differently. I think we're both at a space and place in our careers as well, where we're just looking to begin to work with ideal clients and because that's where we do our best work. Mm-hmm. And just getting more and more clarity around that just makes our jobs easier and easier and more fun, candidly. So that's definitely brought about a lot of positive experience through this entire process.
Yeah. So tomorrow's the day. Tune in, subscribe. We're excited to get your feedback and to put this out there and to meet with more people. Anything else, Jason, you want to add before we close this out? And
let the church say, amen.
Let's do it. All right.